Ta-da!
Ta-da. Look
Look at
us.
us. Who thought we'd be here?
Not
Not
me.
me.
Not the blush. Not the blush I got on my sweater putting it on.
That's why I wear dark shirts so you can't see the blush. Because
You know what? I usually only wear black.
Oh yeah, no, I'm very liberal with the blush. It's all over me.
Well, when you're a walking corpse like you are.
I also use it to contour my balls. So
fucking gross. That is so gross.
Oh, what up, Andy Roo?
What up, Chriser?
How are you?
I'm fucking nauseous. How are you?
Look at this desk. Look how clean it is.
Yeah.
Well,
look at that. Look at that office Lego set that's been sitting back there for 5 months.
So you want to hear a bummer? You want to hear super? I mean, it's good. It's great. It's awesome. In case she's listening, my girl was supposed to leave town this weekend, which is my weekend off. So that's what I was going to do, was build that. And then today she told me she's not going. So.
Oh, well, yay, sad.
Yeah. I think I'm going to still try. I got to get it done.
I mean, you don't have to. It's not like it expires.
Yeah, that's fair. Also, other thought, save it for next Christmas. And I bring it home with me and we build it all the last time.
You fucking no, I bought that for you. Build that on your own.
I know, but we'll see. I mean, it's fun to build it with somebody, you know.
Yeah, but it's really fun to build it by yourself.
Yeah, I just need to get it done is what happens. And I also, because I'm kind of thinking about, they have the Atari one, the old Atari that you can build, which actually kind of looks like a pretty lame build because it's just
I almost bought that for you, and I think we may have talked about that, maybe not, but I almost got that one for you, and I was looking at it online, and I was like, it kind of sucks.
Yeah, I mean
the thing, and then like half of it is just building like little game cartridges that go with it, and it's like, well, that's just the same shit over and over again.
Yeah,
you're like, what's this one gonna be? Another fucking square? What a surprise.
What a surprise. Yeah. The Nintendo one comes with a TV. And what I found out last week
comes
is
with a TV.
You build a TV. The NES
doesn't
one
work.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. It's not a Lego.
Stupid.
It's not a Lego LG crossover adventure.
The IKEA TV.
IKEA made a TV.
No, I'm just saying because you have to build it yourself.
Have to build it. There it is. Yeah, but I thought it'd be cool just to like display like on my credenza, but then I thought, yeah, A, it's probably not the most fun build with the Atari. But also B, people are like, oh, you have an Atari, and you're like, no, it's Legos. And then they're like, aren't you 40?
And then you'd have to like clean it with compressed air, and then you'll start huffing the compressed air, and then all of a sudden you're dead in the bathtub like Aaron Carter.
Oh, is that how he died? Was huffing?
Yeah, he was also on Xanax, I think.
Okay. Well. But also you'd think, you know, you're still making, listen, I know what I make off my residuals as a mediocrely successful comedian. I can only imagine what the fucking Backstreet Boys resids are on a quarterly basis.
Aaron Carter is not the guy from Backstreet Boys.
Obviously not.
No, it's his younger brother.
Even younger brother, because he had some hits, right?
He did have some hits, but let me tell you,
probably not as
younger siblings don't make as much as you think they do. Which is why you should subscribe to my Twitch channel. So I can put Otto through college.
Yeah, wait, what?
Shh, it's for his drugs. It's just what I'm saying.
How is the Otto man?
He's good.
I haven't seen him in forever. I mean, I haven't seen you in forever either, but
I know. I'll see you this afternoon. He's alive, I'm pretty sure. He's around here somewhere.
Are you gonna bring him to the gym?
I can if you would like me to.
I mean, it'd be cool.
Sure, why not?
Although
it brings those fucking neighbor kids over though, and that's what sucks.
Yeah, maybe I'll just stop by on the way. You call it. You call it.
I'm not gonna bring him, but you can swing by after the gym and see him if you want.
It just depends on time. Yeah. So anyway, the NES one I found out if you build it with the TV, it has like a little
They will come.
crank on the side.
So it does work.
And the Mario goes up the TV and stuff.
Ooh, we used to do that with Legos in junior high because I went to Catholic school, and instead of teaching us science, they gave us Legos.
Yeah.
And we did it was like the ones that had like kinetic movement.
Oh, like the Technique ones?
Yeah, that's exactly what those were.
Yeah.
Memory unlocked.
Remember?
Those were
And
hard.
and a lot of them were battery operated.
Ours weren't. They were operated with like energy that's not stored in a battery.
You'd think as much as they were paying for tuition, they could fucking up for the cool ones.
Well, they got the big sets. It took us like a month to do.
I remember
Lego month.
I remember we had an actual shop class, which was, I look back on it now, we were 8th grade and there was an actual arc welding module that you could take. And there was literally a video where they showed you how to light the fucking arc welder, which was a videotape of the teacher doing it earlier, right? Recorded, not live. And it was literally, and then I think maybe the first day the teacher came by and like showed you how to adjust. They gave you a tank of oxygen and a tank of acetylene and a fucking torch. And they're like, yeah, you crank this up, don't crank this up too much. And then you light it and then you weld. And and it was like in the deep corner, obviously, because of the fumes and shit of the shop.
Yeah.
And so I was back there for a full week, just me and fucking metal and a welder. And I was terrible. I was not good.
Well, also, it was back in the 1940s. They needed you guys to help like make tanks and ships for the war.
But I'm just like, they won't even let kids today visit all the websites, let alone
make
use
tanks
a welder.
For war.
Yeah. So,
anyhow, man.
I'm just saying, man, I do feel old when I say. Anyway, my point being, one of the modules was a Lego module, and you could build whatever they told you to, or you could just take the parts and try to build something yourself. And I ended up just building like a 4x4 on my own. And it was obviously
like a piece of wood 4x4.
No. Like the truck 4x4 means all-wheel drive.
Well,
4x.
There's many kinds of. I was like, did you just make like a wood plank out of Legos? Because I'm not impressed. Look at that fucking dunce in the corner over there.
I'm like, I need more 4x1s because I'm just
like, this is so easy. Gary's over there getting cancer from the welder, and I'm just building a wood board out of Legos.
I remember our one shop module, we literally took a small engine apart and put it back together.
Wow.
Yeah. Like you didn't do shit like that in junior high, did you?
Junior high? There were 20 kids in my grade. No.
There were 20 kids in your grade?
In junior high, yeah, at St. Agnes.
Fucking what?
Maybe it was like 30 something.
That is that is some fucking dust bullshit right there.
I went from
we were K through 9 all in the same room. It was confusing as shit.
Honestly, they did like 4th grade and 6th grade. They did combined grades for like some math classes and science classes and stuff. When I was in 6th grade, I had class with 5th graders. Or no, that's not true. When I was in 7th grade, I was in the same math class as some 6th graders.
Yeah. You had yeah, but also you had to take a class in college, a math class in college that didn't count. They just had
but also that's not related. I'm just saying. I
think that's 100% related.
Whatever.
AKA foreshadowing. Am I right?
It was fine. My 23andMe said that I'm highly likely to have ADHD, and I'm like, yeah, for sure. Yeah, we've known for a while.
Yeah. Well, welcome back.
Welcome back.
It's the 1 millionth. It's the 1 millionth podcast. I'm Chris Porter.
I'm Andi Porter.
We're siblings. For
Yeah.
those of you that are new, we're Scott and
Noobs.
Carol's kids.
Mm-hmm.
Although depending on the day, they may not cop to it.
Yesterday I was talking about dad, and dad was like, let's listen to the pod. And mom was like, no, I'm not in the mood. I'm like, the mood to be around your kids? She was like, not when you're like that. I was like, okay.
Man, she's so much nicer to me. What'd you do?
I don't know what she's talking about.
We also, and it's funny that the reason I made sure to do the welcome back, I even made like little notes for this episode, is the lone email that we got this week in listener mail, which we'll go ahead and do now. By the way, if you have questions, concerns, life advice, send it to 1 millionth pod. That's all words, 1 million, one with a TH and a POD at gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
It was a letter from our friend. Hold on. I know the last name. I just got to get the first name.
Gary, Steve, Jeff,
Tony. Tony Bag of Donuts.
We love Tony Bag of Donuts.
He was complaining about how we have not welcomed people back for the last couple episodes. And which is something that we've just been so effortless with the conversation and the whatever.
I'm so surprised those didn't come with dad's notes.
Have you got? I don't feel like we've gotten a lot of dad's notes. I
know. I'm just, well, other than like, we're not doing the pod today. It'll be tomorrow. Whatever.
What?
But other than that,
yeah,
that's about it.
Also, we just put one out. Sorry about the audio only. For some reason, it only recorded Andy's face, but it also recorded my audio, which I thought about just making it just your face, but I felt like that was unfair to you.
I would have been so angry if you did that. I would have been so pissed. At least like put a fucking filter on it, like halfway through its puppy face, and then it's like some sort of gargoyle. That's fine, but just not my face.
Every once in a while, just text like, "I'm a dum-dum. Look at my stupid face." I wonder what I'm like, some sort of like weird pop-up video, but it's just your face.
I don't have a therapist right now. I couldn't handle that.
For the younger folk that listen to our podcast, Pop-Up Video was a show on VH1, which was also a channel that was relevant in the 90s.
You can find the videos on YouTube.
Oh, you can? Yeah, just look them up. It's actually really cool. They showed old videos, and then the pop-ups were little thought bubbles that gave you facts and little trivia bits about
about like the artist, the song, the hat that they're wearing,
and then like
history stuff.
Yeah, and then also be like fucking. There'd be like a finger like fucking. What's up with this guy, right? Because there'd just be a guy in the back like,
you're
like that guy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so so I decided to not do that to you. Just put up a static.
Thank you so much for not.
It's a static of you making a really dumb face, but no. Yeah. With devil horns.
No, those are covered.
Are those
Chris, we are what's a day and a half, 36 hours away from the new Zelda game coming out.
Wow. Have you already pre-ordered?
Of course I've pre-ordered.
You're just
but I don't think it'll show up on Friday. I keep telling myself that I'm 36 years old and I can wait a couple days for a video game to show up to me. But
okay.
Champing at the bit.
Fair question. Why didn't you just set it up for like a store pickup somewhere so you could?
This is going to be like such a big release that people are going to be like waiting at the store to get it. And I don't think it gave me that option.
Oh, okay.
I think I could only do delivery for pre-order. I don't know. Okay. Who knows?
I have a feeling
I didn't want to go to GameStop is what I'm trying to say. They're
usually pretty good about getting it to, and also GameStop, from a guy that always walks in to see if I want to buy a new game for the Switch or whatever. It doesn't smell good.
It doesn't. And when you're a girl and walk in there, it's those fucking Mountain Dew chugging, Dorito snacking mama's
Dad,
basement living motherfuckers that are like,
yeah.
are you here for your Nintendo Wii? And I'm like, I have a Switch, sir. And
Yeah.
also my brother's hand-me-down PS4. Don't talk to me like
You're
that.
quite welcome. Yeah. So anywho, yeah, those can be sad places. They're also pretty good about getting the game to you day of. So did you order it from Amazon?
I did not order it from GameStop.
Oh, okay. Well, then I can't speak to that then.
Should I have ordered it off Amazon? Fuck. It's fine. It's fine. I'm having the Nintendorks over on Friday to play, and they're gonna have one of those dudes will have it.
Are one of them Chris Hurt?
Mm-hmm.
Can I bring you some stuff to give to him?
Yeah.
I was given a and I'll just say it here. I was sent a very lovely package from our good friend Jacob Tots.
Tots.
And and I'd like to give some of it to Chris Hurt because I know how big of a fan of beer he is.
Is he?
Maybe. I thought he was. Maybe I'll text him and be like, "You're a fan of beer, right?" I feel like I've had many conversations about beer, and Jacob
Maybe.
sent me he sent me 3 bottles of some very hard to find beer. Very seriously sought after. Like if you had if you're a dude with a long beard that wears a lot of flannel and is very uppity, I could sell this beer to you for a good amount of money.
Good thing I've been getting my beard lasered off.
Thank goodness. Just mainly
my South beard, obviously.
Yeah, this is why mom needs to be in a weird mood for this. That's what
and we were how many minutes into she started talking about her pubes?
It's a new record. I got to admit, we must have had some stuff to talk about. If that
I was on the phone with mom and dad a couple of weeks ago, and I mentioned that I had a laser appointment, and I was like, I shouldn't have said that. Should have just said appointment. Dad was like, "What are you getting lasered?" And I was like, "But Chooch." And mom was like, he was like, "Why did I ask?" She was like, "You're an idiot."
Well, because dad doesn't think about that. And mom's like, "I know exactly what you're going to get lasered." And dad's just like, as soon as you said it, he was like, "Man, that was on me."
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't think that through at all. Anywho, how have you been? It's been a few weeks.
It's been a few
because I've been out of town. We'll get to that. But let's go to weekend. Let's go to weekend one.
When was that? 2 weekends ago?
Yes.
I was really busy. And I was busy doing.
Yeah, it would have been 28, 29 of April.
No, I'm looking at the calendar.
And I'll edit that part out.
No, leave it in. It's great. Because here comes some more. I had a sinus infection, right? Did we already talk about that? Was that that weekend?
I feel like, yeah.
I don't know.
All right. feels like something you might have want to thought about before we did the podcast about the things we did on our weekends.
I went to brunch with because I talked about that. How was that weekend? I don't think I did it. Oh, I don't think I did much because I kept it pretty low key because I had a really busy weekend the weekend before that.
Yeah.
And so I was pretty chill. Oh, I didn't have any social obligations until I went and did something on Sunday for brunch.
Oh, okay.
And then I went and had brunch with the girls, and then I went to WeHo. Or drag brunch, right?
Man.
I have like 8 meetings a day. I don't remember.
Okay. Well, let's start with last weekend, and maybe that'll put some shit into frame.
I know what I did last weekend. On Friday, I went Spooky Dudes. On Friday, I had Spooky Dudes. It was Cinco de Mayo, so we went to Mexicali to have Mexican food, and then went back to Meg's new place to watch a movie. And I got litty titties because I FaceTimed with mom and dad before Matt picked me up for dinner. So I was like 2 drinks in.
Yeah.
before we even got there. And then it was like, let's do Margs. And it was just like, bye. Uh, and then help Meg pack because she had to wake up really early the next day to catch a flight, which she was supposed to wake up at 7 a.m. for. She woke up at 8:15 a.m.
Yeah.
And made it to the gate with 9 minutes to spare before it closed. Yes.
Her she's just that person. Like she could, like if you say you need to be up at 7, yeah, 100% she's up at 8:15.
Yeah.
Probably hit the alarm 9, 7, 10 times, snoozed it, and then woke up and went, oh.
Yeah, we were pretty drunk and she was like, let's order beers. And I'm like, no.
Also, anyone that needs help to pack in your mid-30s.
It wasn't like, she didn't ask me to help her.
Yeah.
I was like, you need to pack because you're leaving very soon. And she was like, no, let's order beers. I'm like, get your suitcase out and start putting clothes in it. So
you didn't have to help her. You had to get her to do it at all.
Yeah.
Man.
I'm sure she would have.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Probably about 8:16.
I was just going to say 8:16, maybe.
Oh,
man. But
is she still living with her ex?
No, she moved into her new place. She's
nice.
On her own. Yeah, which is great. And then the next day, I didn't have any plans. Then I get a text from my friend Nathan, who's like, "What are you doing today?" And I said, "I don't have any plans." And he was like, "All right, why don't you come over? I'm having like people over in the backyard." I'm like, "Great." So I did that and hung out there. And there was just a bunch of very gay men. And then they left and we watched he was like, let's get high and order pizza. And I was like, that sounds awesome. And so we did that and watched your special. And then I came home and Sunday I did nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Yeah. That was a long 2 weekends of me not doing a lot.
And you played softball last night. How'd you guys do?
Yeah, we did. We tied 18-18.
You tied?
Yeah.
Oh, you must have been the early game.
We were the early game. Which
how's
was
the new league?
It's fine.
Yeah. I saw
fine.
Matt's get up. Matt, the pitcher, has been hit now 3 times in that league.
He's been hit. Well, yeah. I wouldn't even between those 2 leagues, yeah.
And so he went out there, and I'm not kidding, full catcher's regalia, mask, chest protector, and leg protectors. I mean,
if you had seen the way he got hit last week, so our pitcher, Matt, so in this league, you're not allowed to have composite bats, which means if you hit towards the pitcher, you're not out.
Yeah. Because and it also means the ball's not moving as fast.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say. Because you can't hit it as hard. So he gets a line drive straight to the chest. And he went down in an instant and was just like wailing. Yeah. And we were like, oh. So his fiance Jenny was like, you know what's cheaper than urgent care is a full catcher's outfit, and that's what you'll be wearing, so that we're still getting married in November. But I caught my DJ was throwing me a heater from third base.
He'll do that.
He does it all the time. And when I put my glove up, it slipped out. My hand slipped out a little bit, and when I caught it, kind of caught it like this right here, and he hit me right in the meat.
Oh, way to stay in front of it, Rue.
It popped out. I grabbed it with my fucking other hand. I got the out, so that's nice.
That's why you get 2 hands.
But
look at you. Look at you.
Got a little swollen thing going on. Priscilla got this like bobbled like catch in the outfield, and it was awesome. She got the out, but she was like, whap, whap.
Awesome. Well, sounds like you guys are having fun.
Sure.
Sure. Well, I was gone the entire time. Because I was in Cincinnati-ish. I was in Liberty Township, which is very far north of Cincinnati.
We potted when you were there.
Yes, we did. And one thing so that night, the night we potted, I met Billy the pharmacist, who's from Nashville, and man, does he not look like a pharmacist? He looks like a pharmacist.
Yeah. That's what I had definitely pictured.
Like he makes he looks like a guy that might make his medicine like in a trailer, but he doesn't.
Well,
He's
most
like,
pharmacists go by like doctor or
yeah, no, this is
something like
he's
that.
a
Not
very
Billy.
low key. I mean, to be fair, Belinda, she doesn't make us call her Dr. Belinda.
Right. But I mean, if I were referring to her as a pharmacist,
Yeah.
I would maybe use the term doctor. I don't think pharmacists usually go by Billy the.
Well, I mean, no, he didn't say I'm Billy the pharmacist. He was like, hey, I'm Billy.
Oh, I thought his name was Billy the pharmacist.
No. I was like
some
Billy.
sort of clown.
No, his name's Billy.
And he's a pharmacist.
But he looks like a biker dude and could not have been a nicer guy. And he's also a huge fan of the podcast.
Love.
And he is also a part-time wood etcher.
Cool.
And he made us these keychains.
Cool. Oh, fuck yeah. That's awesome. Can I have the one on the right and your left hand?
Yes, you can have this one. And then he also has this one. He made us one of these. You can have this. I don't know.
Love that. Those are awesome.
He also gave us 2 round Tuits. So you can you know about the round Tuit, right?
Gonna get round to it.
So he made us a couple of those. Thank you, Billy,
That's
who is
awesome.
also a pharmacist. He's from Nashville, and he drove up just to see me in Cincinnati.
Oh, that's awesome. Wow.
And he was staying in my hotel. And so like we just happened to run into each other a lot.
Love
and
it.
We had some very nice conversations.
Awesome.
And,
oh my God, he's right behind you.
Yeah, he could not have been a lovelier dude, and probably still is. But yeah, had great shows, most of which I talked to you about in Cincinnati.
Uh-huh.
And then I flew from Cincinnati to New York City and I've been traveling for, 20, don't really want to say how long years because it's depressing.
Back when locomotives used to get me around the continental United States.
Well, back before there was fucking Wi-Fi,
yeah,
or the internet, in hotels. So stuck on that. And,
oh man.
Anywho, first time ever flying into New York City, we bailed on a landing. Yeah.
That's spooky.
Like we were coming in and it was real cloudy. And like when the clouds finally broke, Andy, we were on top of houses. Like I was like, oh fuck, these clouds are low.
No,
and you felt us kind of like do this, and then fucking dead up, full blast. And I'm like, did we just bail on the landing? And I might even said it out loud. And we bailed on the landing, and the pilot came on. He's like, so some of you probably figured out we bailed on the landing. We could not see the runway at LaGuardia. And and then his exact words are, and we're going to figure out a plan and go from there. And I'm like, well, I'm like, we just go around and take another shot at it. Right. And I was outvoted by people in charge. And we
probably strapped down to your seat for raising your voice and speaking up about what you think the plane should be doing.
I was like, just take another go at it. It was
so I opened the door.
Yeah. I was like, I do this all the time on Flight Simulator. You just got to turn the settings back to easy. So we are up in the air, and then all of a sudden he goes, yeah, the weather's not going to get any better anytime soon. So we're going to go to Albany and just kind of chill out. And then we got to Albany, and I was like, cool, we'll be able to hang out in the Albany airport. And they were like, there's no gates open at Albany.
Said no one ever.
Yeah.
Cool. We'll get to hang out at the Albany airport.
And then they're like, there's no gates open at Albany. And I'm like, I've been to the Albany airport. There are always gates open in Albany. I believe that's what Albany means in Native American, means always open gate.
Albany.
Albany. And anyway, there were no open gates, so we literally just sat on the tarmac. And then at one point, this dude stood up and was like very effeminate and was like, I need to get off this plane, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, am I going to end up on passenger shaming? Just because I was like, is this guy going to make a scene and fucking like freak out that he has to get off the plane? Which, to some extent, hey man, if you got claustrophobia or something, like this isn't your environment and you've probably been hanging on. This flight was supposed to be an hour and now we're into hour 3. Like, I totally understand it, but also it's the last thing we need as far as getting to New York City goes. And he was cool. They're like, we can't, they're like, there's no gates. And he calmed himself down and he went away and was fine the rest of the thing. And then finally they just came back on and they're like, all right, we're going to go to New York. And I was like, great. Okay. So we got to New York a little late, but in one piece. And
always a plus.
But it was also just long enough of a flight, long enough of a day to where like the difference between like the Uber X and the Uber or the Uber Black was like $30. And I was like, that's worth it right now. I don't want to end up in the back of a Cube or a Scion or something. And so
like someone's Nissan Versa whose husky has clearly been in it all afternoon.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, you can't fit your giant bags in the back, so you'll just have to sit with them. So got a very nice ride to Union Square where I was staying. And I think where I'm always going to stay in New York City from now on. It is like the coolest area.
Union Square is nice.
And I stayed at this Hyatt, and like right across the way was like actual Union Square, and off to the side of Union Square is this like tiny little park. And I would just sit out there every morning and smoke my coffee and drink my weed and look down fucking Park Avenue. And did I say drink my weed?
You said smoke my coffee and drink my weed.
Strike that, reverse it.
I was like, what do they have there? I want that.
And but I would just stare down. I felt like fucking James Taylor, Carole King. I would just sit there and just be like inspired by the city.
Just fucking going up to everyone like Tapestry. Right?
Am I right? Fire and Rain.
Tapestry, guys. Right? How about that? Tapestry. I know other Carole King albums.
Do we though?
Duvet. Curtains.
Greatest Hits.
Velvet under things.
But had some great dinners. Went to Freeman's or Foreman's, I don't know, but it was like at the end of an alley, and it was this like quaint little restaurant, and it was just had like, I walked in, I was like, this is the most New York place I've ever been. Like, it just like, you're in these like Hell's Kitchen kind of tight vibes, and no one around us was speaking English, and it was like French and German, and it was just a very cool Sunday
night.
Vibes.
We love tight
vibes. And
tight vibes.
But this is what I will say, at least at the Foreman's or the Freeman's,
watch it be called like Owls or something.
No, it's one of those two. I mean, I can look, but it's the meat was well prepared, but the meat itself was obviously subpar. Like, it tasted like it tasted and it felt like the meat I used to get at Yucca Market. Like, yeah, it was just bad.
You mean your botulism burgers?
No. I got the steak. I think it was salmonella steaks.
I was just making a joke. I thought it was funny. Botulism burgers. You
No,
can laugh at things that I say sometimes.
I do. When they're funny, I laugh. Man. I got video of it. But anywho, yeah. So that was and then Monday I ended up doing. I was obviously there to do promotion for the special, which is available on YouTube for free.
Bing bang bong. There's no money in babies.
There's no money in babies. Anywho, so Monday night did a podcast that's called Legion of Skanks, which is known bills itself as the most offensive podcast in the world, and man, do they go for it. And I was just like, sometimes you get in a room and you're like, I'm in over my head on this one, and I don't really want to go to where they're going. And so I took my shots where I could and where I felt comfortable. But
Who's
man,
on it?
Big J Ogerson, Louis J Gomez. It's really funny. They're very funny. And
Yeah.
but like yeah, like we watched you heard the story about the Chinese acrobat that fell to her death. Like her and her husband were doing a routine and she fell and to her death.
Mm.
And they like showed the video, and I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, we're just watching a video of a woman dying.
It's like fucking smut films.
Yeah. And I think they're called snuff films.
Snuff films. That's what it is. Obviously, they're not my bag.
Yeah. And so, you know, they're just like making all these horrific jokes. And then I was just like, well, if you love something, let it go. And so yeah, I just kind of did what I
It's a
could.
good one.
That's a good one. And it destroyed. It did real well. But then yeah, so we did that, and then we walked out, and just so happened, I'm like, what's open? We're both starving. And there was a Sugarfish that was still open around the corner. And I was like, let's go.
Wow.
Did that. And then the next day I was on the next day, the girl had to leave, and but I had to go and be on the MLB network, which was fucking awesome.
Awesome.
It was the best. Like, you know, I'm a huge baseball fan,
Yes.
and a huge Royals fan. And I showed up.
You love major leagues and baseball.
Yes. And they sent me a car. They drove me out to Secaucus where they film. And then I'm like, why am I getting there?
What's Secaucus?
It's a city in New Jersey. And I think it's also just below your duodenum. And
sounds like a German person trying to say the caucus.
It's the caucus.
Or the carcass.
Anywho, I show up and I'm like, why am I here so early? I'm like, maybe traffic's normally worse. But
BP.
no, they put you in an office and they give you, and I kept it, this giant packet, which is a breakdown of every game and like all these stats and stuff. And I'm like
every game of the season or every game ever?
Every game that's coming up today and every game of the day before. So you have stuff to talk about. Because I wasn't just on for like a section. I was on for the entire show. I was just another commentator. And so I got to make all these jokes and just riff. Awesome. And it was just like it was one of those things, like when it was done, I was like, I did so good. You guys want to keep me, right? I didn't say it out loud, but I was like, dream come true. This is a dream come true. I'd love to do this all the time. And,
I love Secaucus. I love it here. I'll eat at Olive Garden every day.
Also, if you could just not solo out, I love Secaucus, just because my sister will use it for
he loves Secaucus. There's Secaucus all up in his faces. He loves Secaucus in his faces.
It's so I did that, and had a had a fun, it was the quickest hour of my life, and then just got in the car and went back. And that night I just hung out with my friend Andre at Andre Kim at the Stand, which happened to also be just right around the corner from the hotel I was staying at. And had super fun. And they're like, oh, we're going to try to get you up tonight. I'm like, great. And so then me and Andre go into the green room where we all start smoking massive amounts of weed. And
awesome.
And then I was like, they're not going to put me up. And then the guy comes in, he's like, hey man, might have a spot for you. And I was like, okay. And then immediately was like, I am not in a position for this. Yeah. And luckily it did.
When did you guys get here?
Fuck, man. You guys ever do dabs? All right.
Can I have some of your water? Are you drinking that? I'm going to drink that.
Oh, there's a lot of vodka in here.
Oh. Woo! Let's get weird.
So luckily I didn't have to do it. And then the next night I was on the Bonfire, which is a show on the XM radio with also Big J Okerson.
I don't have that in the Jeep.
And Bobby Kelly, who was Robert Kelly, as most know him. And just, yeah. So it was a fun time. It was a great few days in New York. It was also just enough of New York City. Like after about 4 days, I was like, yeah. I also got to eat at Little Italy. I finally
Little
did
Italy
that.
love. Yep.
And I ate at the restaurant that you and mom and dad ate at when you were there a few years back. And god damn it, it was good.
So
it was
good.
so good.
Man, they're mean.
And they are, yeah, not in good moods.
No.
They are not trying to sell you anything. They're just
Pretty
like,
pissed
yeah.
about the Big Italy, I think.
Yeah.
Holding a grudge.
Holding a grudge.
Holding
They're
a grudge against Big Italy.
But yeah, great time. And then finally had New York Chinese food. Didn't go to Chinatown to get it. I was like, I saw it.
Have I ever had that? Maybe.
But
was it good?
It was really good. It was
Good.
really good.
Nice.
I didn't get
some General Tso's.
Got some General Tso's, really good. The rice was really good. I did not get the crab rangoon. I just feel like that's more of a Midwest thing.
It is. It is.
But they did have it. But yeah, had a great time. And then went up. A car came and got me and took me up to West Nyack, where I did shows at Levity Live at the Palisades Mall, which is another giant. We've talked about it before. It's just a
Mall town.
No, it's a Mall of America-esque enclosed mall.
Ugh,
but like one of those ones where like, oh, the store's over there. We may not make that.
No thanks. Not for me.
But so funny. The hotel they put you up is very nice. It's on a hill below a cemetery. We
love the Nyack Hills.
I
love being next to a cemetery.
Oh, okay. I
love spooky stuff. No.
It's weird, but it's weird to look up and see one. Usually you're above the dead people, and in this hotel, you're very much below them.
Man, one heavy rain, and
it's a
terrifying.
Yeah. And but I always used to like, you'd go out the hotel and go to Wright to go get coffee. And then I just kind of thought that was the town, and no one had ever told me different. And then this time I was Googling, I'd had the Chinese food earlier in the week and I wanted some more of it. So I wanted some more Chinese food. So, I was like, oh, this place is like a half a mile walk. I'll just walk there. And it was to the left. And I walked to the left, and there's like this beautiful downtown Mayberry-esque that like leads down to the water. And I was like, people must have thought I was on mushrooms because I was walking down the street like, what was this? How long's all this been here?
You don't look at like Google Maps whenever you're staying someplace to like figure out where you want to go get like coffee or something?
I mean, I do, but again, the coffee was to the right.
But you never like, oh, they want to try like maybe a local coffee spot.
No, if I'm on the East Coast, it's all Dunkin'. I'm getting real Dunkin' all the time.
You gonna get those Dunkin' shoes that just came out that Nike just did? What? They're horrible looking.
Oh, okay. No, probably.
But they look like donuts.
No. You do that ironically with like Homer and stuff like that. I'm not. Also, think about Dunkin'. It should look like the coffee. No one goes to Dunkin' for the donuts. The donuts are trash.
Well, because they're frozen.
Yeah.
They freeze their donuts and just like ship them from like a shipping center.
Yeah. No, thank you.
They reheat them for you.
I've said it there's a reason they took donuts out of the name. It was because they're like, we know that they're terrible. And that's why Shake Shack should be called Burger Bar. Said it 1,000 times.
Dunkin' is just called Dunkin' now. It's not Dunkin' Donuts.
It's just Dunkin'. If you drive by one, they are called Dunkin'.
I don't know why that really grates on me. I don't like that.
But it shouldn't, because they've said themselves, these donuts are trash.
We're not donut people. We have them, yes, but we're not donut people.
But you don't want them.
Right.
You come here for the coffee, and apparently, because I was right by, I believe Union Square is called it because it's near the student union of NYU. And so you're right by NYU. And so it's all these NYU kids, and they all order like the bagels. with like stuff in the middle. And I'm just, you know, like, oh, I want the ham and cheese bagel and shit like that.
First of all,
And
it's called a BEC. It's a bacon, egg, and cheese, and it comes on a bagel, and you get them at like every bodega. It's like the standard New York breakfast.
yeah, but also these kids the line was long and no one was ordering coffee or donuts. They were all ordering these things.
It must be some sort of like fancy bagel place.
Still at a Dunkin'.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That was kind of the point I was trying to make.
Oh, sorry. I thought, well, you didn't say it was Dunkin'. You said we were back in Union Square.
Yeah, well, I was saying that because all the NYU students were at this Dunkin', not getting
Gotcha.
donuts or the coffee. They were getting like bagels.
Gotcha. I thought we were just we started talking about other breakfasts.
Nope.
Cool.
Anywho,
Great.
so yeah, so there's like, anyway, in Nyack, there's this great downtown that is the opposite way of the Dunkin'.
Mm-hmm.
And so ended up going down there every day. And I was like, and then I was telling the manager, I was like, do you know about this? Like a fucking idiot. I was like, no one told me that this downtown existed. He's like, well, I feel bad because yeah, it's like the best part. But yeah, so you went down there, I went record shopping. I found a very cool pressing of Rolling Stone Sticky Fingers where it has the actual zipper on the cover. And it's from Japan. And yeah, super excited about that. But anyway, great shows. I'm not a huge draw on Nyack, not gonna lie about it, but it keeps getting better as time goes on. But yeah, got that done. I did lose my sunglasses in New York City, but I had them for I think 8 years. So I don't know.
That's a good life. That's a good life.
Yeah, I just kind of don't know if I lost them or if like a puppy, they went away to die.
Yeah.
You know. So so I got new ones
a
coming.
Puppy that went away to die?
Like dogs normally, like if you don't put them down, they have a tendency to like leave and go away to die. Like they don't want to die around you. Naturally, they would walk away and go somewhere.
Oh.
Like that's their instinct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I shouldn't have
they
said
don't
puppy.
cover that they don't cover that in Homeward Bound.
Yep.
They come back.
They do. Anyway, so yeah, so good times, great oldies, flew back, got upgraded to a little lay flat seat. Woo! And oh yeah, and I'll tell you,
never seen one, only heard tell.
Anywho, normally I'm a window guy. I'm always a window seat guy. And this time I was like, you know what? With these lay flat seats, I always have to wake up and pee on these long ass flights. And I always feel bad that I have to like step over someone. So I'm just going to take the aisle this time.
Did you get one of those new planes with the catheter?
No.
Man, that would have been so much easier than
I feel like
decision made.
Yeah. But it's also who takes it out? Do you take it out? Because I heard that's the worst part.
You got to put it in and take it out yourself.
Oh, just anything else.
You think those flight attendants are coming around putting your catheter in? Are you kidding? Touching literally everyone's genitals on the plane. Can you imagine?
If there was ever any, like, I didn't want like as a kid when they're teaching you about sexually transmitted diseases. I can't remember which one at one point required something up the pee hole. I was like, I'm never not wearing a condom. If not, fuck kids. I don't want ever up a pee hole. Fuck you. No, not ever. Not now. Not ever.
Not man.
Anywho,
I've had a catheter one time. I was not aware when they put it in, but boy was I when they took it out.
I got the willies. Anywho, I knew I just thought I was gonna have to pee, and I've never had to pee so much on a flight ever. Like, and I'm not talking like sometimes I get on a flight and because I always pee right before I get on a plane. It's the last thing I do. It's like pee, leave, gate, on the plane. But every time, and I've been doing it for 24 years, I get on the plane and I'm like, man, I hope I don't have to pee again. And then you just think yourself into needing to pee. And then you go in the bathroom and it's just a little bit and you're like, I'm an idiot. Not this
Do you have
time.
a UTI? Oh. Go ahead.
Not this time. Every time. Just fucking. And I was
I
like,
can't
what
believe they
the
let you
fuck?
back in there after the first time. Just hosing it down like that. Fucking gross.
Oh, no. The first 2 times the turbulence was so rough. It was like rodeo peeing. I was like, hey, 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 hey. And I will
That's
say
every
this.
time on Southwest when you come out of the bathroom after it's been like that, they're like, told you weren't supposed to go in there.
Oh yeah.
They
No,
always
no one.
shame you when the seatbelt sign's on, and it's like, lady, I don't give a fuck. The seatbelt sign's been on for 5 hours, and I got a whiz.
Yeah, no, in business class, they're like, nah, I get it. I get it. I had to pee too.
They don't have that on Southwest.
They do not. They do
Mhm.
not. Anywho, I don't know how long we've been going. I think we're almost at an hour. Or at
I
least
think
50,
so.
at least 50, right?
You don't have a little timer on your end?
I do not. Hold on, let me see if it's a thing that I can't see. No. Okay. Anywho, story time.
Woo!
Also, don't forget to follow the pod at 1 millionth pod. That's all words, 1 million with a TH and a POD at on Instagram. And you can follow Andy at Andy Port on Instagram and at Andy Porter on the Twitter.
And you can find me at Bovine Joni on Twitch. Twitch.com or twitch.tv/Bovine Joni.
Bovine Joni.
Come watch me play Zelda. It's gonna be so sick.
So our cousin Brock mentioned this earlier on our group chat, and I had to look it up because it does sound like my nightmare.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a good. Seems like it's something that you'd be like, okay, this is fine for like 10 minutes, but at like the half-hour mark, I'm getting worried.
So Bo Jackson, former Royal, greatest Royal of all time, possibly one of the greatest. I think he's the greatest athlete of all time. He has to have surgery because he's had hiccups for almost a year.
I would be so miserable. Put me in a coma. Put me in a medically induced coma until you figure out how to make that little thing stop spasming in my throat.
Dude, week 2, I'd be in tears. I'd be like, I just can't. I'd be like Michael J. Fox in the Family Ties when he can't sleep.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say because he's so shaky.
Oh no, but just in general, no. There was in Family Ties. There's an episode where he's got narcolepsy. No, not narcolepsy. The other one, insomnia. And he can't sleep, and he can't sleep, and he's just like freaking out. He's like, "What?" And he breaks down. He's like, "Why can't I sleep? I just want to sleep." And fucking, could you imagine? Like maybe there's like 3 minutes you don't have a hiccup, and you're like, "Huh? Huh?"
And then they're back. It sounds terrible. He said he's even tried smelling a porcupine's ass. I didn't know that was a remedy.
Yeah, no, and he's from the country. I think but also I think week 3, I'm trying everything.
Oh yeah.
If Cooter down at the general store says fucking smell a porcupine's dick, I'm gonna try it. Because some of them country remedies work.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that would sound so miserable.
And here's something, you know what? Here's a little something for the listeners. Think about something that a bodily function or anything that if you couldn't stop would drive you insane. Maybe send it in and we could talk about it. 1millionthpod@gmail.com.
There was like some girl who couldn't stop orgasming, and her dad had to like take her to the ER, and she was like 16.
Which had to be weird.
Fucking, can you drive me to the hospital? I'd rather pay for the fucking ambulance.
Dad, can you? God damn it.
Oh man, just hope she's okay. I mean, she seems fine.
Yeah, it's like the worst. I mean, day 3, and too much of anything's bad.
Yeah, money, maybe not.
What I've seen, every fucking lotto winner fucking turns out awful.
Oh man, that is very true. And they usually win the lottery again too. It's like getting struck by lightning. You're more likely to get struck again.
Well, you know, a friend of mine and I were talking. Nicole Birch actually had lunch with. She's friends with the owners of Oklahoma Joe's, and they're like aware of us.
Huh.
And I was on. Oh, and I was on Tom Segura. I was talking about how great their barbecue is and how it's my favorite. Anywho,
Oh, nice.
She was talking about. She went to anyway dinner with them at that restaurant at the top of the Waldorf Astoria. I think you've been there. I've been there. I took the girl there once. It's a
Waldorf
great
Astoria.
restaurant.
Where is that? Here?
Beverly Hills. There's a great restaurant up there, and it's the views are ridiculous, and it's actually it's cheaper than Mastro's. Like it's relatively well priced, but it's also what my point being is we were just talking about the people that like us that are there like, oh, this is a great night. This is a big deal that we're at the Waldorf. And then you have the folks there that are just, that's their life. They live at the Waldorf Astoria. The kids are wearing $1,200 designer slides and they just know no different. And like, she was like, everyone, all those folks just kind of seem vapid. And I was like, yeah, they've never had any hardship whatsoever.
Sounds awesome.
Everything works out for them all the time, but also they're not as funny as we are.
No, but I would like to come into that money now.
Yeah, because you respect it.
I'm still hilarious, but fucking cha-ching. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you've earned it.
Yeah.
I have a feeling it's right around the corner for you, Rue.
Thanks, Chriser.
Anywho, what's your story?
So man, Kansas is awesome.
Normally,
especially this guy who last Saturday got pulled over on I-35 in Franklin County, which is where I looked up where that was, where Ottawa is, like for even further south than Wellsville on
yes.
I-35.
Yeah.
And he got arrested middle of the day. This picture is noon. It's so bright with nothing on either side of the freeway. He got arrested for a DUI while he's dressed as a Bud Light can.
Oh, I saw that story. Did he actually get arrested or did he just get pulled over for it?
Well, I mean, he got charged for the DUI, so they're not going to let you drive home. There we go.
There he is.
Look at this guy.
But also, you know you're going to get, like...
field sobriety test and dressed as a Bud Light can?
Yeah, you're...
What a
I
bummer.
hope they show... I want the video.
I know. Me too. Man. Yeah, this was the... Oh, wait. These are just laws about DUIs. I was like, this is his 5th DUI? Yeah, if you get a DUI, it's 48 hours of mandatory imprisonment or 100 hours of community service. I guess you don't have to
and it's also about 10 grand in lawyer fees and
oh my God, it's so expensive.
Yeah,
and you have to take classes and you have to do community service and you have to attend Alcoholics Anonymous meetings and you have to attend. It's insane.
And then people do it again.
There's a dude in Vegas who was just convicted of his charged with his 10th DUI.
Yeah, a lot of states, your third one, I think California is one of them. Your third one, you go to jail.
Yeah. This dude, 10.
Yeah. Doesn't make any sense when Uber, man, back when cabs were a thing, like you kind of understood it because like cabs weren't just around. They were super expensive and they were super shady and they took an hour to get there. But now with Uber and Lyft, and now every time I go to the airport, there's one I've never heard of listed.
Right.
It's like there are plenty of ways for you to get home.
Of course.
Anywho.
And especially in Vegas, like you walk out of anywhere and there's like literally a cab sitting right there.
You can take a limo. The limo will take you to the strip club and then you can Uber from the strip club.
Yeah.
Something.
Anywho.
I'm off this. Well, this will probably come out next week. So this week I'll be in Tampa, Florida, at the Improv in Ybor City with the hometown girl, Jen Sturger will also be there. And then the week after that, I will be in Salida, Colorado and Colorado Springs, making a little run of it.
Little Colorado run.
Yep. And then big news, the Campfire Astronaut Show in Kansas City is sold out. You can join the wait list in case we release other tickets or maybe even add another show if there's another people on the wait list. I don't even know.
Get on the wait list.
I'm running through Superstore again. It's just as funny the second time.
Oh, I just did that recently as well. It's so good.
Such a great show.
I'm on I think my 8th watch through.
And as always, you can find the pod at 1 millionth pod on Twitter. That's the number 1 in the words millionth pod. And, well, we already did all that. Anyway, I'm Chris Porter.
I'm Andi Porter.
This has been the 1 millionth podcast. Fuck you.
Come on by.
Da, 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 da.
Do 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 do.
Da, 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 da.
Do 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 do.
Do, 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 do.
Do 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 do.
Love you, Rue.
Love you too, Chris. I'll see you later.
All right.
Fuck you, come on by.